Is there a noun that means the state of being flustered? I was writing a bit just now and found myself typing the word flusteredness, which gets the meaning across but is rather awkward and decidedly non-standard. Is there a more common or natural word that means roughly the same thing?
One obvious noun for the state of being flustered is flustration. Writing in the late 19th century, Farmer and Henley, in Slang and its Analogues, 1893, listed as being old and colloquial. Flustration, subs. Old and colloquial. Heat, excitement, bustle, confusion, flurry, in the sense of agitation. Example, 1771. Smollett, Humphrey Clinker, I 126 being I was in such a flustration. Example, 1843. Major Jones's courtship, 8 the old woman's been in a monstrous flustration about the comet. Example, 1847. Quarter race, etc., p. 177. My wife is in a delicate way, and the freak might cause a flustration. Example, 1848. Jones Studies of Travel, p. 21. The old woman was in such a flustration that she didn't know her lips from anything else. Example, 1872. Mortimer Collins, Two Plunges for a Pearl, Volume 2 Sage. 7. Then was this pretty little actress whom he admired in a great state of flustration. The word remains in use today, but it has never escaped the ignominy of being excluded by, for example, the Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary series. Owing to its status as a word not in good standing, it can be damaging to the credibility of people who use it in serious writing. People like Martin Loosemore, in his book, Crisis Management in Construction Projects, 2000. When parties abuse their illegitimate power, weaker parties, who may be in the right, suffer unduly. This causes malevolence, frustration, and the potential for conflict. Try to ensure fairness in the bargaining process. On the other hand, there is something quite evocative in this comment from William Gormley, Jr., The Politics of Public Utility Regulation, 1983. What then can we conclude about the politics of public utility regulation? It is a visible process that frustrates participants who lack political support. It is a technical process that frustrates participants who lack expertise. It is an expensive process that frustrates participants who lack resources. It is a controversial process that frustrates participants who make authoritative decisions. In the patois of the Deep South, the politics of public utility regulation is the politics of flustration. It may be tempting to read flustration here as being simply a regionalism for frustration, but I think it is perhaps more accurately viewed as an amalgam of two notions, being frustrated and being flustered. If you fear the ill effects of using flustration, and I certainly would, you might opt instead for pother, which Merriam-Webster's accepts as being a word above suspicion, and which means much the same thing as flustration, to judge from its entry in the 11th Collegiate Dictionary, 2003. Pother n, origin unknown, 1591, 1a, confused or fidgety flurry or activity, commotion b, agitated talk, or controversy over a trivial matter 2, a choking cloud of dust or smoke 3, mental turmoil. Definitions 1a and 3 seem most on point here.
Instead of saying something like Pat had noticed my frequent flusteredness, you could use agitation, bewilderment, befuddlement, discombobulation, disquiet. There's also dithers and tizzies to consider for different constructions. I'm rather fond of discombobulation if I had to pick just one.
Disconcertment and discomposure, antonym of composure, what you would lose in a flustered state, would be good alternatives to flusteredness.
It's less common than its use as a verb, but fluster can be used as a noun to refer to the state. It's most commonly used in the phrase "in a fluster."
Depending on context, you might try tizzy. It's a bit lighthearted but fits the bill. Tizzy vertical bar ties vertical bar noun, pl. Tizzies, in sing, informal a state of nervous excitement or agitation, he got into a tizzy and was talking absolute nonsense. Most of the suggestions here seem to relate more to pure confusion, but a tizzy is just as likely to result from surprise, even at an event that should have been expected.